All good things take time, and loot is no exception. And so I started my day like this, with a crossbow in hand and a mace over my shoulder, ready to farm the road. After dropping off my loot, I grabbed a pickaxe and I went out to my spot to see if any new nodes appeared. There was quite a bit of unfinished work on the base, so I took this time to finish up as much as I could. I was in need of a lot of wood, and I mean a lot of wood, so I grabbed some of the stone that I had just collected, along with some low grade, and I found the closest train to me. I hopped on, and I headed to Outpost to do some trading. Somehow, I made it, barely. And while I was here, I decided to cook up some of the crude oil that I had. Not only did I need it for the ride back, but I would definitely need it more later on. The ride back was dark and dangerous, but it was a risk that I was ready to take. If I could get this wood home, I could finish out my base. Finally. And just as the sun was rising, I arrived home, safe and sound. It was time to finish up the base. And from the top of my tree and the balcony of my base, I overlooked the world outside. I had accomplished something that most couldn't, and I was hopeful that I could keep it. But I know how this game is, so I attempted to enjoy what I had as much as I could before its inevitable fate. Now that I had some more room upstairs, I decided to move my loot so that my TC and loot were in two different places. Every now and then, while farming, I would be in a position like this. And as you all know, I'm not looking for trouble. But when shots are fired, I won't stand down. While I was recycling at the supermarket, this happened.
Hey bro, can I get a start? Yo, can I get some tools? Come on, man. I'll just leave you be.
Now don't get me wrong, I'm not one to reject another solo that's in need, but asking for guns is just plain lazy, especially when I'm over here grinding. I've never been a beggar, and I'll never be a beggar, and because of that, I don't respect the beggars. Speaking of grinding, it was time to go underground. and in the peace and comfort of Outpost, I recycled. And soon after, I purchased some weapons. Recently, they made it harder for players like me to progress in the game, but there are always ways around it, and this is one. I live for moments like this, complete peace and quiet, to watch the sunset from the top of my base so high up is truly an experience.
School base.
And soon after, the stars show up, shining and bright, almost as if they're speaking to me, reminding me that everything is okay. Enjoy the moments that you have now, because tomorrow is never guaranteed. If you always live in the now and appreciate what you have now, you can never regret anything. And when the sun finally rose again, I continued the grind by farming some more nodes in order to keep my furnaces cooking. And I could safely say that I spent time in my base, enjoyed the wood finish of my walls, enjoyed the tree cutting through my base, all within my treehouse. Not a typical treehouse, more like a castle in a tree, high up in the sky. And this is the moment when everything changed. My castle in the sky, like the castles of a beach, crumbles under pressure. Not every castle is meant to stay standing. Some are destined to return back to the waves that brought them. And when I opened my eyes again, I was here. No sleeping bags and no base. And as I made my way in that direction, I found a horse, and so I took that horse and I rushed to my base. I had been offline raided. Again, all good things can't last forever. And so I climbed the tree around my base, and I entered from the roof. If you think this is the end of the journey, you would be mistaken. I could argue this was only the beginning. My treehouse base was raided, but all that meant to me was it was time to build something new, somewhere else. I don't believe in giving up after being raided. It simply means it's time to start new. Thank you so much for watching, and a special thanks to my YouTube members. Be sure to check out part 3 next week as we continue this story. Dreamers, stay chill. You've been watching an Orange Dream production.